every competition prep that I do, I've done 4 now, I learned so much about myself, good and bad, especially when you're starving. And it was to inspire other people. And maybe that doesn't inspire other people and that I went too far. They think, oh, Clint's always been that way. But I have the before pictures and I have the after pictures. And I can show people what you can do if you decide to do it. But also I can tell people how you can help your brain and your mental health and your self-image daily at the gym. And like I said, it's micro wins. Going to the gym every day is a win.
Yes.
And then add those wins up 5 days in a row. Maybe you just start out 3 days a week, and then that's a successful week, right? And
Yeah.
later you raise the bar, but you just keep raising the bar. So that's what I did, was raise the bar and level up, just like a video game, to the point where I was standing on stage, right? But it's to motivate other people. Hopefully to motivate other people. I think it works because everybody at the gym asks me questions about what to do, right? So
Yeah, for sure. Oh, definitely does.
and I always say I'm not here because of how I look. I'm here because of my mental health. I'm a ticking time bomb if I'm not here. And everybody can resonate with that, with how good they feel after they leave the gym. So you plant that seed that when they leave the gym, they're like, I feel so good when I leave the gym. I got to do that more often. It's healthy, right? And they say that the equivalent to that, well, being in nature, being in the trees, in the forest, they said 10 minutes in a wooded area is the equivalent of taking an Ativan. So that's what I tell people. In addition to whatever it is you're doing for depression or anxiety or PTSD, doctor recommended stuff, I don't dismiss any of that. But in addition to the counseling and the meds, I always say add the gym and get some time in nature, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Both really important things. This question might sound a bit redundant, but it's like, say if a man is watching this, like right now, and they're in a dark or low place, what would you want them to know?
Well, because of your podcast and channel, that they're not alone. And like I said, it's the saying is most men lead a life of quiet desperation. They're screaming on the inside and they're not screaming on the outside, so nobody's hearing them.
It's all internal.
But because we're talking, we're not screaming.
No.
Well, we're talking about how we screamed.
Yeah. I'm just letting people know they aren't alone, and hopefully this comes up on their feed and then they can relate. And if you do relate, like, follow, comment something, and just to share your thoughts too, because like I'd love to hear them, and I'm sure Clint would too. And we can discuss this too, but it's asking what keeps you grounded now. And this is my guess is like, I'm sure like it sounds like nature and your dog.
I don't go in nature anymore.
No?
But,
Okay.
not much. It's just the gym primarily for me, and then my dog. She's almost at a point where I outgrew her, where I didn't need her as much.
Oh, okay.
But I'm also mentally, she's getting older, she's 8 years old. I'm mentally preparing myself to lose her, right? So I am honestly pushing her slightly away from me instead of enjoying my time with her like I should be. But I don't know how devastated I'm going to be because she was such a big part in me being here today, right? I'm going to be absolutely gutted when she leaves this earth. But I also understand that she was potentially sent here for a reason, and that was to help me, right?
She did.
To save me. So besides that, the gym is what helps me the most in that community at the gym. And if I'm not at the gym, then I'm prone to for substance abuse, which is alcohol for me, right? The first couple drinks, I feel like I don't have a care in the world, but it just produces anxiety, and it's a crutch, right? And I get far more legitimate success from going to the gym, and that's why I go 7 days a week, right? Because that's where I need to be to get rid of all that negative energy and those negative beliefs and those negative thoughts. And then I started my own little company there with my Top Rank Wrestling.
Top Rank.
And I'm doing that. May not be the best thing for me because I might have started it during a manic episode, but I'm in it now, and it's getting a little bit easier every show I do. And I'm building trust in other people, which I didn't have. I can't do it all. I can't do a big event like that on my own, right? I have to trust each and every person to step up and help me in one way or another. And they all are, and they're all extremely grateful that I started it so that they can get more matches in, or more matches on video, or whatever else it is, or just to be able to live that wrestling or wrestler lifestyle. So it keeps me going, knowing that I can help out some young guys.
That's cool.
Who weren't getting as many opportunities as they would have back in my day, type thing. There's a lot of wrestlers nowadays, because nowadays that's just that. Back in my day, the guys who had the best builds were favored, but now nobody even seems to care about that, right? It's almost a component of wrestling that's disappeared. So
Part of like character development and like being on maybe the way you talk would be a benefit too, right? And how you present yourself. I know a little bit about it. I also know I used to watch like I guess for WWE, like they look at the crowd and see how the crowd responds to you, and that's what dictates your success or not. Which is
Should, but not so much in WWE because they like to build their own stars.
oh, okay.
So
So they favor
the
other-
example was back in the day, Rock was getting Rocky Sucks chants,
Yeah,
but they were dubbing it out and just making it Rocky chants. And easily at that moment in time, their most popular wrestler was Rob Van Dam. So they were toning down the volume of his RVD chants.
really. I did not know that.
So it's all an illusion, right? And that's
Wow.
what wrestling is. Wrestling is an illusion, right? It's, none of it's real, right? Including potentially some of the production.
Oh wow, I did not know that.
Yeah,
That's
so they'll tell you what to think. Whereas if you go to a smaller event like mine, independent wrestling it's called, you get to think what you think. Mine is going to be more definite where the bad guys are the bad guys and the good guys are the good guys because we want you to get into it, right? And
Oh,
have
okay.
fun, right? And you don't actually really truly hate that bad guy.
no.
And he doesn't really truly hate everybody on the planet, but you just go along with it because it's fun. It's theater.
I know I went to an independent restaurant. I don't know which one, what brand it was, but it was at Chiacton Hall. And like I was standing, and then these guys come out there, the bad guys, and he got right in my face. And he's like, I was like, I just remember just getting into my own character. I'm like, I'll take you outside and I'll break you in half. Like, I had fun with it. And
That's the stuff people remember are those interactions, right? And that's what indie wrestling is all about, right? Is having those interactions, especially for the kids, for them to see those characters come out and to see. And it's the same as a Rocky movie. It's the good versus evil, and in the end, typically good prevails, right? So it teaches a story also at the same time.
so, what would you tell a man that's afraid to reach out because they feel like they'll be too much of a burden?
That'd be a bad place to be in, to feel like you're a burden. I don't know that I've ever felt like I was a burden. I felt like I didn't belong. I don't know. It would be a really bad feeling to feel like you're an actual burden on somebody. Maybe that's the only way I could see that happening is if you had asked for help and it was downplayed and you were ignored or you weren't heard or maybe you didn't yell or scream loud enough that you need help. So that would be what I would tell somebody who feels like they're a burden that they need to scream louder and say, I need help. Because what's the option? What was the option with me? If my brother-in-law hadn't have presumably taken his own life, stole my thunder, because after watching what the family went through with that, I was like, nah, I can never do this to these people.
No.
Not two in a row, right? So if I had taken my own life, my story would be horrible. It would be a horrible story, horrific story. Clint this and Clint that, and all people would remember is the end. And but instead, I was able to persevere, and now I'm slowly getting my feet back underneath me, and I'm turning it into a success story. Right? So people can turn their lives around, but it takes time. Everything takes time. It takes a lot of time to process, and it takes a long time to rebuild yourself and to rebuild your beliefs about yourself too. So, but I'm slowly turning my life potentially back into a success story. Just being here is a success compared to where my mind was that 5 years ago. But also with the things I'm doing, the bodybuilding that I did, some might view that as being successful, even though that's the greediest sport on the planet. And then second off, starting my wrestling company and giving back to these young wrestlers and getting them started in their careers and eventually walking away from that and leaving it with them. And that wouldn't have happened if I had taken my own life. So I actually still have the ability to benefit others by being here. But if I had checked out, it would have been a horrible story and a horrible ending to a horrible, what would have been viewed as a horrible life, a life of struggle.
And to me, like I just see, like you overcome quite a bit. You came from a workplace that was pretty hard. It's a rough area, and now you're building and helping other men, like especially like in the wrestling, probably women too, like thrive and to be able to have these matches, and you get to be the guy that's like, I get to help you and teach you and train you and help them with their mindsets and everything. It's such a good place to be.
And that's the biggest thing, because the mindset, because there's so many people that I talk to, because I'm so open about my mental health. There's so many people that thank me for it because they feel like they're all alone most of the time, or that they're just not connecting to the other people they talk to. But if they talk to somebody who's actually struggled, they'll know that they're not alone easily. Not that I've actually struggled, I still struggle.
Yeah.
I'm just learning different ways to build up my resiliency, right? So that I can at least make it one day at a time, which I have, right? And that's, I say all the time, you got to live life one day at a time. I get overwhelmed when I think about next week.
Me too. Like I do, and that's what I do the same thing, one day at a time.
And you just bang it out the best you can every single day. And for me, part of that is going to the gym, because that's where those positive chemicals in my brain are released.
And that's why I think I also heard from you is like you don't want to end your life right here. You want to build what you can tomorrow. Even though it might be hard today and doesn't feel good today, it's like you can give yourself a better tomorrow. Is just stay here today. And I say to the person that's in that feels like they're being a burden, I'd say you need to come to a place where you choose yourself, that you love yourself, and you got to put yourself first to know that you're not a burden. And that's just my 2 cents on the.
Hard part is loving yourself.
It is. It is.
It's the same as I was talking to a girl at the gym the other day. She's on the verge of having an eating disorder, and it's easy to see, right? But she's pretty much in denial. But she's said it more than once, eating disorder, to me, so I know it's there. And she's not quite ready to admit it or ask for help. But big thing with her is she goes, I came to the conclusion the other day after talking to you that I might never be happy. And I said, you're never going to be happy. Not in this world, not in the bodybuilding world, not if you care that much about how you look. You're never going to be happy.